Ooh, hi everyone.
Hi. Sounds very professional in here.
I think I'm the only person in the world who doesn't listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I don't either.
I don't either.
I don't either.
We got roped into
They won't let me. They won't let me listen to this one.
It's more fun.
It is
do
fun.
it.
It's just a
but-
conversation.
Yeah.
Fun for us. I mean, I don't know about the listeners.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
Although I've had a lot of people come up and go, "Hey, I hear you have a new podcast." I'm like, yeah. They haven't.
It's
run
like,
away.
hey,
They
you should
heard.
listen to it
Yeah,
too.
listen to it.
they heard.
Yeah.
They heard we had it. They haven't listened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready whenever you guys are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hit it, Dave.
This is every episode,
Yeah.
by the way. Doesn't know how to start it, doesn't almost forgets how to end it.
I don't have any idea what I'm doing.
Do you watch Only Murders in the Building?
I don't. I just read, and spend a lot of time.
Read
on
and
my
write.
computer and
Yeah.
write. Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome to What the FLX
There it is.
podcast. Whew, that's a lot of
you go.
work.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Good job.
Yeah.
I did the lead in.
That's just the
We're here
intro.
today with Meghan. Meghan, a local actor, a performing artist. You do a little of everything.
Yes, event
You do.
specialist on
You're an
top
event
of all that.
specialist.
If it's live, it's theater. So then
That's true.
I do it. Yeah.
And you do it
Okay.
well. And we appreciate your being here with us today because we're going to talk about an event and a lot of the acting and theater parts that you bring to the whole experience for people. The Days of Incandescence is what we're going to talk about a little bit.
Absolutely.
And, Meghan is an actor who's been a pivotal part of it since the very beginning of the Days of Incandescence. So you and I go back to 2018 when we first started this whole thing. In 2019, these two gentlemen here have come in, a little bit later. So maybe you can kind of give them an idea of what it was like in the beginning way back when.
But before we do that, though, Dave, how about we talk about what is the Days of Incandescence? Or what are they?
He's awful bossy. What the heck? Why did he-
We don't always
Yeah,
let
we
him-
don't
we don't
usually
always
let
let
him
him
have a
on
mic.
air.
I'm here
so
on context check.
we don't usually give him a mic. So
Yeah.
That's true.
What is the
Today
Days
is
of
freedom.
Incandescence?
you're asking me?
Yeah.
You came
The
up with
Days
it.
of Incandescence. Well, no, I mean, basically the intention behind it originally was to kind of tie together all the Halloween offerings in Corning with people kicking the table. No, with, Corning's history. So we looked into a lot of the different aspects of Corning's history and found a little mystery involved with Corning Flint Glass making the glass containers for the incandescent light for Thomas Edison. One of the shop boys apparently is the one who actually blew the bubble the right way, the right shape and everything. And later on, 3 different men claimed to have been that boy. So there was a mystery about who was that boy. So we created an entire...
We should get him on air.
It's like,
all
it's like,
three of
it's like
those men?
Maury Povich, but
Well,
for
I'm gonna-
who's the real boy?
Yeah.
You would need to
Sadly,
find the ghost.
all 3 of those men are, yes, they're not ghosts.
Ghost hunt.
But the family of one of the members who has a lot of evidence to indicate that their ancestor might have been the boy is local and still involved working for Corning. So it's kind of fun because they come every year to the event, which is kind of nice. And every year we kind of run it by like what we've added and stuff like that because at least in theory, it's all inspired by potentially their great grandfather. Mm-hmm. And we do allude to him in the newspaper. So we make a fictional, newspaper every year and we do call him out in a few different ways. So that's kind of fun. But that mystery allowed us to kind of create the supernatural story based on true fact. And that's what we've kind of created with the Days of Incandescence. So it's a multi-day celebration, the final weekend in October every year. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the last Thursday, Friday, Saturday of October. And we got a lot of things happening. And is that a good enough intro so I can now ask Meghan? Wow.
I'm going to test your
Please
history
do.
knowledge.
Uh-oh.
So
1912.
what happened
Oh,
in October 22nd in 1868 here, which ties into why we tied it into Halloween.
1868. Well, just see.
Put him on the spot.
I was, I'm just going back in my own archives. Wait,
Here in Corning.
Here in Corning, something happened.
Hey, don't look at me. I'm not from New York.
1868. Wow. I don't know, Megan. What do you?
I mean,
Let's take a wild guess.
Jimmy Buffett. No?
Don't think he was that old.
Oh.
Enlighten
Can you give
us.
us enlighten
the
us?
Corning Flint Glass Company began making glass
Yeah.
in October.
That's true.
1868.
You know,
And
in my
our-
head,
our-
I was in 1968 going, I was trying to look
I
at
was
my-
just relying
little
on Dave.
events
The
celebrate
You're right.
60s.
Yes. That's
the
when they, that's when they
1860s
moved.
to the 1880s and maybe now to the turn of the century. So
I played dumb. Just,
lots of
you know.
fun things happen around here in October.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, even,
actually, it was, didn't Edison's man, Thomas Edison's guy, come up in October as well?
I'm not certain because there are different
Okay.
accounts on that. But
We're just gonna say
Well,
yes.
we say it in the walking
yeah,
tours.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Perhaps.
It's in the tour. It's got to be true.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, everything we say in the tour is fact.
and exactly like who that person was. Was it Meadowcroft or was it someone else? You know, we don't. There are different accounts. You know, historical accounts. So yes,
Unless you were there, you
1868
don't
Corning
really know.
Came here. That was a good.
You can't just look it up on Wikipedia and hope that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that anybody looks up stuff on Wikipedia and thinks it's right, but
Oh, they do.
do they really? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And they know it's wrong.
Right.
They know it's probably
I'm
not
going to go in
factual.
and change that. Well, I mean, yeah, and I mean, I think Thomas Edison actually passed away in October too. So there's a lot of tie-ins.
So many tie-ins.
Yeah, there's. I mean, we could go on for
And now-
another
Corning is
minute.
an October town. It's
Mm-hmm.
an October town.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so you started the event in 2018.
Yes, we started it with historic walking tours. Was the primary offering that we had, and we had local actors, Meghan being the leader of the pack, giving tours. And we did them, originally it was 11 days long. We did it a couple weeks of tours. And then in
We
2020,
always sold them out.
and 29, even in the rain. And then 2019, we added a little theatrical component on the Centerway Square stage. You want to talk about that a little?
Well, you're right, Dave.
That
It's called reciprocity, you know? And that was a lot closer to now than
I think it was
1868.
one of my wild ideas because I said, well, your storybook, we could bring it to life and we could stage it. So it was sort of a staged reading of the storybook with several actors and a live
Pug.
Fetch,
Yep.
the pug, which everybody loves, Fetch from Legend of the Gatherers. And so we did that on Centerway Square, and we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it was
but
great.
it was pouring down rain, I
It was a little
believe,
damp.
soon after that. We were hoping for fog, like the story says.
A smoke machine.
Right.
Yeah.
But every year we try and figure out how
Yeah, it's
can we
something.
make it a living history event
Right.
and make it, this is a story for Corning to tell. And I think the groups of actors, everybody gets excited and does their own research even, which is
Right.
really
That's
fun.
cool.
They come back and they're like, do you know what? Wow. So
Try to outstage you.
yes,
Yeah.
pretty much. I don't know. I did think we should have had a fetch contest. We haven't
Yeah.
done that yet.
Yeah, we have talked
We haven't
about
done that one yet.
That's a good
Genius.
idea.
I think the dogs in their Halloween costumes
Oh,
would
yeah.
bring people down.
Sorry, we're canceling
especially
pumpkin
if they've
carving this
been
year.
Pug contest.
Pug contest.
Yeah, there's so many things, but yeah, that's how it started. We did the walking tours.
Yep.
We did a little staged reading. We didn't do the libations crawl till later, correct?
Right. It was that came after the pause, the great pause.
Oh,
COVID-19.
that's
Yeah.
right.
That
I
came after.
forgot
Where
there was
everything
a
went away.
pause
Yeah.
in there.
But then we, when we came back, we started with in 2021 with Libations Crawl, and then we changed it a little bit the last 2 years. So, and added the actors in. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? Because part of it, from our perspective, is we get to see this. You guys come in costume. You're multiple people. You're not multiple people. Well, you might be. I don't know.
I can
But,
be multiple people.
You are,
Yeah.
and you do it so well. The each of you has a role, a character that you embody, but you get to interact with the people who are here for the Libations Crawl, which is the final Friday of October every year. Can you talk a little bit about the acting and the event itself?
Yes. So even when you take a walking tour, I should mention that you meet 4 citizens of Corning's past. So it is interactive and kind of fun, and you never know what little citizen's going to come by and help share our mystery and history. So for the libations crawl, also tying into Corning's long history of much libation on our market street, it ties in very well. So we had, I guess I like to think of them as ghosts of Corning's past, historical characters, and everyone, as you journey down the street and you're tasting locally made libations from our wineries and breweries and distilleries, you also encounter a citizen of Corning from the past, and they might talk to you about another fun thing in October that happened, the Great Pumpkin Flood. You would have read about it in the newspaper. Yeah. These heavy rains we've actually been having. I was like, ooh, maybe we'll get a pumpkin flood this year.
Let's hope not.
So I believe it was a lot of pumpkins going down the Chemung River because of all the flooding. So that's kind of a fun little story that we tell, but we talk about obviously the glass history, but also just the merchants along the street, why our beautiful brick buildings exist, and the business that is responsible for that terracotta that's so well preserved. Things like the fires and the lumber and the farming and cigars. Cigars is a big fun part of our history that not everybody knows about. So I love it. You get it's a think and drink in a way. You get a little sip of history and a sip of a libation. We encourage you to dress up too. And I'm always impressed.
Yeah,
folks are like, they got it down, this whole Victorian thing.
Yeah,
I often feel as if I need my budget increased.
Just have them join us, right?
I'm like, wow, I am a little, your petticoats, it's a lot better than mine. So
I don't know the actual answer to this question, but the characters that you guys play and the actors play, are they based on actual people, or did you come up with them for the event?
Yes.
So
thank you, Dave.
This is kind of a fun story. My character is a fictional character related to an actual person. So the Reverend I.B. Ives was a known pastor in this area. So Pastor Dr. B. Ives. It was the first Presbyterian church in 1867. And so people came from all around to hear his sermons. So I pretend to be a relative of his. And I also take in the role just for fun in contrast to some of the other characters. Mr. Denton is a local business owner, so he's not real, but... and then we have a young glassblower who we actually walked through the cemeteries and looked at names on headstones and things like that. And so we call him good old Tom Olcott, which of course I know was a big farming family out there in Big Flats. And Tom is very much into the libations, being a young man and a glassblower. And Dorothea is very much in the Women's Christian Temperance Union, which was a big thing that was a movement across the country, not only for suffrage, but mostly against the fact that all the men worked in factories, and on their breaks they went to the many taverns and they drank ale and beer and whiskey because there's not fresh water.
Cleaner than the water, right?
Yeah, cleaner than the water, which that was interesting to me to find that out. Anyway, it's why it's an event that
I
keeps
tried to
going.
use that.
I just thought, they just like to drink, but actually they're thirsty and there's no fresh water. So these women would advocate not only to close down the saloons, but they would advocate for things like building a fountain or some sort of pump system so that we could get actually water to our children and to our gentlemen folk. But they're funny. They were a rowdy group. I think they actually burnt an establishment down. That was like said because they went down and they protested that all their family's money was going to the establishment, and the establishment had alcohol and other fun things going on upstairs. And the women said, Not in my town.
It's not going to be reenacted, by the way. So that part is not
That part, but
reenacted.
I do love. I like the little
part
bit of the grit, and we do have fun as our characters.
Yeah.
So my character is obviously a little bit of the, Mr. Denton keeps talking about, how the cigars are hand rolled on a woman's thigh, and I keep saying, Mr. Denton, it's like, stop waking snakes. Nothing we need to hear about. We have a lot of fun in that way, but they're not actual people, but we talk a lot about actual people.
I love that. I also love how
some of
deep
the
the background goes into each of your characters, because you must have to kind of create that stuff to actually interact with people, because I'm sure you'll occasionally have someone who like really tries to test you. Yes,
we're definitely not, Williamsburg level, where you're going to actually, have a chat with, I'm trying to think of the people I've had a chat with in Williamsburg, a great living history event. We have fun with it, and we obviously joke with you being in the present day and us not being. And then the libations crawl, Dave actually, and he could talk about that, came up with a lot of we talked about different important people in the history and glassmaking, and then just different parts of our history, big moments. So like we have Frederick Carter, things like that. So people are playing, I guess I should say, for the libations crawl, not necessarily the walking tour. The libations crawl, we do have some people
from the past.
Historical.
Trying to play the historical person, although we don't have any footage and things where we can really mimic them, but we do try to give their facts.
Based on what we are able to find,
And hopefully they are acting in the right physical ways and so forth. We weren't as social. We didn't, touch and so forth and things like that.
I do love how often I'll occasionally look over and see an interaction between some of you and you guys not understanding what a cell phone is.
Yeah, that's fun. We have a lot of fun with that.
They stay in character really well.
Well, one libations crawl, Kevin and I had partaked in it. And there's
research again.
What's that?
Research.
Yeah. And a young actor was playing a newsboy. And me and him tried to break him. We were intentionally trying to question him and get him out of character, and he never once broke character.
Yep. And he has an accent.
He might have broken some facts, but he definitely might have broken some facts.
But Kevin and I had no clue,
Tom.
and he was Tom all the way, and it was wonderful.
Oh my
God, it was crazy. For like 20 minutes, we were sitting there just questioning about other things, and he never broke character. It was great.
He would have known.
I was impressed.
He would have known about 1868 too, because he came up from Brooklyn with.
That's
with
right.
The
he came up with the
with the
he used to jump on the trains as many of the young men would when the railroad times came, and they'd go all the way down and then kind of make their way back.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun. I mean that's one of the things that people, even if you don't go to the libations crawl, on Saturday is that the big celebration event in Riverfront Park. And all the actors are there and still in character. We have the story stations ahead of time, and then we have, last year the actors were leading a lot of the, Victorian games, so kids could interact with them. They're in character.
The actors love it. It's just so much fun, and it's so fun to see the little kids and adults alike, light up, and it's just always a great way to learn about your history and be entertained and not even realize how much you're gleaning, and hopefully you become a little more attached and proud of, the town that you're either in or visiting. But
yeah, I mean, and learning about it that way is that interactive element just seems to make it, I don't know, it's like you're not really learning something, even though you are,
absolutely.
It's entertaining as well.
Yeah. And it's the level of the experiences improved, I think, every year, just in part, because of the actors in costume and the way they really do get into their parts, whether it's real historic characters or the ones you've researched and kind of fictionalized a little bit. You really kind of transport people back to 1880, and I didn't mention that we are set in 1880 Corning, that Victorian feel, so it's really cool. And we have horse and wagon rides and, blacksmithing and a lot of different vendors and food, and, it's a fun event. What are some of your favorite parts of being involved in this, the Days of Incandescence over the last several years?
I love sharing the history. I just do. I'm fascinated by it. I moved here probably 23 years ago from California. So this street to me looks like a movie set. Yeah. I found it on day 3 of living here, along with Wegmans, and was like, I can stay.
Home.
Free Wegmans advertising. Anyway, so it's just so beautiful, the town itself, and then to unpack and figure out all these little things that are hidden in the buildings or in the history. And it's fascinating. I mean, why we're called the Crystal City, that's always, I think, one of the really fun things to watch people's light bulb go off. Yeah. When we get through the tour and them understanding that this was, Corning Flint Glassworks made glass, right. And then the cutting shops made crystal. And we have the history of that here in this town, and really of America's finest crystal, right. And the crystal that I would say, Steuben, that's been lauded around the world for how beautiful it is. And I always say that this town, as little as it is, has big history. All the way from the light bulb, of course, to we play with the cell phones because, there's also Steve Jobs who, Edison came to Corning, but Steve Jobs tried to contact Corning, and I heard that they didn't believe it. Is that a true story? Have you heard that? No. Somebody told me that people were like, yeah, right. But he was like, I need to talk to someone about this glass I need for the cell phone, and of course fiber optics. So this tiny little town, and we're all walking around and in this information age that we had a big impact on. So I love going all the way back and kind of filling in all those little things. Yeah. It's neat.
It is, and you kind of take it for granted. Even people, like you said, they've heard the Crystal City for years, but they've never really thought about why, and the fact that there were over 20 glass cutters, cutting shops here at one point. But
and the famous, they were T.G. Hawks, for example, where Victrix Hot Glass is still making glass today. He was part of Irish glassmaking family, and he went out to Brooklyn, and then I think Jay Hoare brought him up, and then so that's all very exciting to me. And I even tell people, I said, around here you really got to look at the glass you find in a, if you see it in your shop or aunt's attic or what have you, you really got to pay attention because people know Steuben and so forth. But what if you had a Jay Hoare piece? What if there was a T.G. Hawks piece that's around?
Oh yeah,
so it's exciting.
Priceless. Yeah,
it's just exciting. I don't know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things you might not be aware of, but we've added a few things for this year because we talked about adding layers to the event. This year, we're bringing in the world record-holding pumpkin carver.
Yes.
Eric Jones is going to be coming. He's been on the Food Network on a couple different shows, which we're hoping will encourage the folks, local community, because we always have that jack-o'-lantern contest during the celebration event on Saturday.
Yeah, and that's a secret hope of mine, is that really takes off because the community can be in the event, and you've got to carve your pumpkin anyway. Carve it, bring it down, show it off.
And take it
that relates to light, which of course
we're
the
celebrating
whole
light.
thing. Yeah. Well, the whole thing is based on Edison and light is how it kind of started, and so jack-o'-lanterns were actual lanterns and help of light. Yes. So it kind of comes back, and also Corning's entire history is using light and glass. And that's all the advancements and innovations. So anyway, but I think it would be really wonderful if we could just get more and more jack-o'-lanterns every year. And yes, with a professional carver, if you've never seen one, they're amazing. Yeah. In California, I came from a pumpkin town that had a festival, and they would carve the winning pumpkin, the 1,000-pound pumpkin, the 100-pound pumpkin, and just it's unbelievable what they can do.
Yeah, great. He's bringing a couple big uns.
Yeah,
a couple big uns.
I'm curious, Dave, having been one of the original founders of said event. That make you feel old? I'm so sorry.
1869 when I said it.
What for you is your favorite portion of it? What do you always look forward to when you're there at the event? And
the whole thing. Just because for me, I got an idea for a fictional story based on real history and created that story, and that kind of sparked what we're doing now, so that, indirectly, I mean, obviously the Edison and the Corning glass is what sparked the whole thing, but to get to play with that, creatively and then see it evolve into all the different pieces, that's just, for me, very rewarding. This year we got a grant, so we have a local musician who is going to be creating brand new Halloween-esque music inspired by the Legend of the Gatherer story and the Days of Incandescence.
That's cool.
Doing a concert at 171, free concert for everybody. It's family friendly. It's only probably 45-minute long, so it's not too long to get, kids are going to get restless. So, just adding in those new components, having seen the little live performance in 2019 that Meghan, put together with them on stage with a real dog, that was pretty cool to see, that sort of thing. So for me, just really all the elements and just seeing people come out and have fun, I think, and really everybody who comes to the event learns about Corning's history. So it's like just an inherent part of it. And most of the people are going away, I had no idea. I never realized that. I think a lot of people think it's the Crystal City because the Corning Museum of Glass is here. But the Corning Museum of Glass is here is because it's the Crystal City, and because of Corning Incorporated.
Right,
so
and it's not even Corning Incorporated who made Crystal.
Right.
It was that we had 20
the
glass cutting shops, which was, it was our post-war industry. We were the Crystal City in that way, it is exciting and how things have changed in that. The story stations are fun.
Yeah.
They were a big deal last year. So you're thinking, I want to bring my kids not to a libations crawl.
Right.
We have it like packaged in so many different ways to come enjoy our history. So the story stations where kids could kind of walk around downtown and they'd meet a character and they'd learn something and they'd get a little sticker that they listened and heard all the stories, and then they got a little prize at the end, and they loved that.
Yep.
And then the celebration event is really fun. The park looks so beautiful, and with the Edison lights and all of those things, and it's just a fun harvest time, and it's fun to be out in October and in the evening, and we have a spooky guest who comes. Yes.
That's my favorite part.
It is.
I knew that was going to be your favorite.
Yeah.
How did that
Tell
come
us about
about?
that.
How'd it come about?
Yeah.
Shaving accident. No, I'm just kidding.
I remember.
I don't know, but you're just standing there. All of a sudden, this horse comes across the walking bridge, and it's the Headless Horseman. And it's about the coolest thing you ever seen. People stop and stare at it. And the cool thing is the horse stays for like a few hours usually, and kids can go up and like pet the horse and stuff, and they really interact with it. But it does. My kids were in front of the frame taking a picture, and the horse like came up behind the frame and stuff. So it was really cool and stuff. It's just a unique thing to see. You don't see horses dressed up, the characters dressed up. It's great.
How did that come into the event? Because that's obviously a story of its own.
Yes, it is.
In the world.
It
is that just to tie it to Halloween a bit? Or?
Yeah, and I guess we thought it was old-timey folklore.
It fits very well.
I think said it out loud in a meeting.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I wish we could get a Headless Horseman. And Marshall Ferrari, who works for the Gaffer District, who also used to work for a local haunted house establishment, was like, oh, I've got one of those.
Just in my back pocket.
Lo and behold, we have this incredibly skilled horse person writer. I mean, it's fascinating just in general, like how they're able to do it, and then they really do it. There's makeup on the horse as well as and that sounds weird, but come see and you'll understand. I love that part too, and it's really neat.
I think what I like about the event too is it feels so different than another festival. It is that history, but it's the uniqueness of that people don't know. I mean, you can go to other festivals and there's vendors and food and music, and this has that element of like uniqueness, surprise, mystery. Like it's really cool.
Not me also not being from here. I'm from Michigan, and then attending it for the first time last year was like, this is more than a Halloween event. It feels like it belongs only here and nowhere else in the world.
It is a
which is a
story.
great event,
which
right?
I love it. It was having. I was doing a lot of filming and everything, and then half the time I was just like, "Oh, I need to be working," because I'm like just observing everything coming together, and I was like, "This is so cool." It was a lot of fun, and people should definitely come again this year.
I don't get to see it all. That's the,
I know.
Yeah, you're working.
I didn't even get to go by the blacksmith last year, which that's an incredible thing to get up close and personal and get to talk to a blacksmith thing. Yeah, and I missed a very wonderful magician, I believe.
He'll be back.
Yes, it's great. It's just fun. Obviously, there's homemade donuts. We should talk about that because those are important. Our beautiful Amish family.
That might be my second. No.
Yeah, makes donuts. But watching the kids in that family's eyes light up at the magician or the juggler, and it's just really fun.
Yeah, you can see the magic in some, because it's a different experience for them culturally as well, so. And it is, going back, Meghan had mentioned, it is a unique story to Corning. Obviously light bulbs are everywhere, but they were involved in making those first bulbs for Edison, and then the element of it is kind of fun, and bringing that to life is pretty cool.
Anytime you can make someone stop and think about the thing they use daily, and they've never thought about, and then you're like, actually, that's because of this town right here,
and you happen to live in it.
You live in it, and people wish we'd go on further with the history, because obviously it became a household thing because of a later invention by Corning itself, actually, which is probably as important as the light bulb was the ribbon machine.
Yeah.
We don't really get into it, and people, it's fun on the tours. We get lots of people who are retired from Corning or work at Corning, and they always want to add more stuff. And for Days of Incandescence, it's like we're trying to just kind of stay in this window, but we do chat a bit about that.
There's always room for growth.
Get excited.
Right?
Yeah. So. It's 1926.
Yeah, I feel like if it's our history, we'll fit it in there.
Yeah.
We'll fit it in there.
And they want to talk about the railroad lamp, because the railroad lantern actually was the thing they did in 1877, just a few years before the light bulb, which kind of really changed the direction from the art glass to science and technology. Yeah.
Right, because it didn't get all smoky and ashy and was okay in bad weather, which again, we just don't think about it unless you're, I don't know, around.
You're on a train in 1877.
Exactly. Then maybe you would have been like, wow, look at that smoked up glass right there. I wish some little town would
figure it out.
Well, they used to use colored signals though to tell you to slow down or speed up. Or
they still do that, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, they do, don't they?
When you're driving a car too.
That's what those things are.
Yeah.
Oh,
you forget what they are and you just go right through.
Yeah, I try to look down.
How many times you told your car?
Dave has a driver.
I wish I had a driver. I need a driver. Whether it's about, we have a bunch of over a dozen actors involved.
Up to almost I would say 20, pretty much, pretty close. The newspaper's a really fun thing.
Yeah, that's true. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That Dave puts together this awesome newspaper.
I would say let's leave a little mystery.
It is a little mystery, but I think it's very, very fun for kids or anyone to hold
a newspaper.
A newspaper that has actual facts and then fun, newfangled things and ads. But that is how I know Dave got a lot of the facts and things for our event, and myself as well. And going back by looking at old ads and everything else, you can really get an idea of how people lived.
I can't wait to see it all again. Yeah. It's gonna be so much fun.
Last weekend in October.
That's right.
Days of Incandescence.
You know what I want is local ghost stories on Market Street. Anyone who's living and listening, please, and living. I really don't need you to come if you're not living. I guess.
Take what we get.
Could you please?
We want it to be authentic.
Send in that actual ghost story, because I think that would be fun. Yeah, we can play with those too.
Well, Meghan, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today and to be on, what the FLX podcast. I always tell people one of my goals is to try and bring Groovy back. And Ellie, your son obviously got to hear that a little bit this year. But
I love Groovy.
I think the Days of Incandescence
is a very groovy.
Like pre-groovy, groovy event.
It's some pumpkins, as they would have said in Dorothea's day. Why, that is some pumpkins. It's a real saying.
Some pumpkins.
That would be groovy.
It's funny that didn't last. I can't imagine.
To you, Dave. Dave. I'm out there saying that some pumpkins all about town. In October, anyway.
Well, everyone, stay groovy until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.